The term corporate rat race is often used to describe competitive and relentless pursuit of increasing level of job success, career growth, power, and status in the corporate world. It is a metaphor for the never-ending competition to get ahead in one's career, similar to a rat running endlessly on a spinning wheel. The rat race often involves long working hours, high level of stress, very little free time, and a constant push to outperform colleagues for promotions, higher salaries, and recognition. It often implies that people who are caught up in the rat race may lose sight of other important things in life. For example, health, relationships, hobbies, personal interests, and a lot more. They ignore all these things because they are consumed by the pursuit of career advancement. I have been working in the corporate world for the last 19 plus years, and I'm sure many of you who are watching this video are also working in the corporate, and at some point in time you have also felt that knowingly or unknowingly you have become a part of the corporate rat race. So here are few things which will help you identify whether you are caught up in the corporate rat race, and also few things to get out of such rat race. And don't get me wrong, money and growth are important. What we are talking about is how we lose sight of other important things and just get into that loop of doing things for only our career advancement in the corporate world and nothing else. So here are few signs for you to identify if you are stuck in the corporate race. Point number 1, you are working non-stop, which means you are working late nights and on the weekends, and at some point in time also on your festivals or holidays. That is sign number 1. Sign number 2 is you are constantly stressed, which means even if you are not working, you are always thinking of your work. Even if you are with your family or friends, your mind is always thinking of work and work-related problems. That means you're stressed because of your work. That's point number 2. Point number 3, you have stopped pursuing your hobbies or your interests. You don't go out, you don't play, or you don't get involved in any of your personal interests. That's point number 3 or indication number 3. Point number 4, your main focus is chasing promotions or climbing the corporate ladder. Even if it is at the cost of your personal life, you are very much focused on getting that next pay rise, that next promotion, that next level of growth. If you are doing this, then this is a huge indication that you are stuck in a corporate race. Next point, or point number 5, you have this constant feeling of being left behind. And at some point in time, even I have felt that we start to compare ourselves with our peers, with our colleagues, or with our friends in terms of what kind of salary they make, what kind of jobs they have, titles they have, etc., etc. We always get into that comparison mode, which knowingly or unknowingly draws us into doing efforts or things which we would have actually not done. So that feeling of being left behind is an indication that you are trying to do something just because you want to compete with others, not because you want to do it in first place. And last but not the least, the biggest indication is that you are ignoring your personal relationships, health, and family time. If you are doing this consistently, then it indicates that this is a huge sign that you are stuck in a race which is never ending. Remember that each one has a different journey. So all these signs, the degree of impact may vary from one person to another person. But it is often worth taking a pause and reflecting on whether this really applies to you or not. And if it does, then at what degree does it impact you? Having said that, here are some points or actions which you can take to reflect or opt out of the corporate race. Point number 1, define goals and milestones for yourself. Don't worry about other people's success. Define what goals you want to achieve, at what pace you want to achieve, and what are the milestones to reach that goal. Clearly identify what is of value to you and at what speed do you want to achieve that particular goal, irrespective of how fast your juniors or your peers are growing. Create a financial plan for yourself. which means that you will have a very clear idea of what financial number you are chasing, so that you will not endlessly make efforts to get after the next pay hike or the next increment. You might want to consider creating a budget, saving money, keeping track of your expenses, and reducing loan as part of your plan. If you are able to do this consciously, then you would know how much effort do you really need to make and in what direction. Point number 3, consider job roles or companies which are aligned with your interest, your skill, and your experience. If you are somebody who has reached at a stage who has enough money, then you may want to take roles which offer more balance with respect to life and work, and workplaces which offer you better working environments. Next important point is to identify when to say yes and when to say no. A lot of people who are in the rat race first say yes and then they start to think. They stop thinking, they just go saying yes, yes, yes. What I'm trying to tell you is, make a cautious choice of saying yes and a no. Understand what would be the impact if you say yes, what would be the impact if you say no, and then clearly say yes or no. It will be a huge time saver for you, energy saver for you, if you are making clear, conscious choices based on reasoning. And last but not the least, allocate some time for your personal interest and your family. There has to be a time on your calendar when you are not going to be thinking about your work or doing anything about your work. That has to be strictly personal time or family time. This also means that you need to be very clear in terms of your career plan and how it is progressing, because a plan is a plan, but over a period, it needs certain changes and adjustments. So if you have clear goals with respect to where your career is going, if you have clarity with respect to how much time you want to devote to your personal interest and family, then you will have better life-work balance. Most people get it wrong as work-life balance. And if you have this kind of clarity, then you will be having best of the both worlds, which is personal success as well as professional success. And you will be making a choice of staying away from the rat race. I hope this helps. If it does, share it in your WhatsApp network. Do let me know your thoughts in comments. I'll see you in another video soon. Take care and bye for now.